Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jess here with my realtor, Travis Hitt, and
Hello.
We just wanted to sit down and talk about some ways to identify realtor red flags. We're going to go over 5, maybe 6. Travis knows he's going to give us all the dirt on all of his competitors who don't do it right. I think one thing that I've mentioned several times before, Travis, and we just talked about it off camera, if a realtor is telling you everything you want to hear, if they're a yes man, that's red flag number one.
Absolutely.
In my opinion. What's another one in your opinion?
Communication. So if you can't get a hold of somebody, that's a big red flag right there. And there's always an excuse of why you couldn't get a hold of them. Massive red flag.
Yeah, like I had a family emergency, or I mean, I get that from subcontractors. Everybody's always in the hospital for some reason on Mondays. Yeah, with realtors too. Sorry about this, Travis, but when I refer people to realtors, I tell them, hey, you got to vet them. You got to make sure they can communicate. Send them a couple text messages late at night and see how fast they can get right back to you.
Absolutely.
What about reliability?
Yeah, being reliable, I mean, in this business is huge, especially if you're an investor, because like we've talked in the other videos, you don't know what you don't know. So that realtor is supposed to be your professional that helps you through the entire process from beginning to end. So if you can't rely on them, you're already setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and I think that's super important. I think the other thing I know when I first met Travis, the first thing he did with me was just start asking me questions.
Yeah.
And you don't always see that with a realtor. They just want to get the listing and move on.
Right.
And I think that asking questions, fleshing out all of the info so that you've got a good background as a realtor so you know what you're up against is super important.
Yes, it's huge. And I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm by no means perfect, and so I'll put that in a disclaimer. But I have learned through trials and tribulations. But if your realtor doesn't ask questions, knowledge is everything. If Jess buys a home and I know nothing about it, why would I not ask questions? Because I'm going to be the one selling it. So if you have a realtor that's not asking you a lot of questions about the work you did, how you found the property, what's the backstory, what have you done to it, what are your expectations?
Are any of the neighbors enemies?
Exactly. Yeah. So us as the realtor should know everything about the seller and the home. So make sure that they're asking the right questions. Yeah.
And then as you're trying to identify these red flags in a realtor and you're interviewing a realtor, testing their knowledge of the market, super important. So if you're trying to invest in a certain hot area, say Dallas-Fort Worth, say maybe you're looking at the Prestonwood area, you've got to make sure that your realtor knows what the hell they're talking about with regard to that area. So we've talked before, if your realtor's not offering things like price per square foot and things like that right off the bat, that's a pretty big red flag, isn't it?
Yeah, they need to know the little things like that. You would think that's a small thing, but it's actually pretty big because, again, they're the ones selling it, so they need to know the information of the area, the school districts, everything like that, as well as how to flip a property in that specific neighborhood. Now, a lot of people will go to Lowe's, Home Depot, and just get the basics, but you have to, as a seasoned investor or a new investor, not only buy the home, but you have to learn the area, because there's specific areas here that people want a specific home, a specific type, color scheme. They want that vibe, that feel. And that's one great thing about Dallas is we have such eclectic pockets, but it starts with the investor. If they're flipping that house, they have to know how to flip that property for that specific neighborhood or area, and that's super important.
100%. So if we recap, we talked about your realtor cannot be a yes man. We talked about they've got to communicate or woman. Sorry, yes. They've got to communicate. They got to be reliable. They got to ask questions and listen, and then they've got to be knowledgeable. So if they don't check all 5 of those boxes and check them pretty fast and pretty proactively right at the beginning, and they're not proving to you that they are the man or woman for the job, boom, game over, move on. And I think the best way probably to find a good realtor is through a referral source.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, how important are referrals to you and how you've built your business, and what do you do to get more referrals? I mean, I know you get results, and I get you referrals most of all, but how important is the referral thing to you?
It's huge. So I've been blessed where my whole business is referral based, and like I said, that's a big blessing because I'm not spending a ton of money on having to get leads. I spend more of my money on marketing. So I really cultivate that relationship by doing the 5 things that we talked about. Again, I'm not perfect, but I try to do all 5 of those things constantly, so I am getting referred out. Because anytime a referral in any business a hot lead is better than a cold lead.
Yeah.
And it allows that trust to automatically be formed. So referrals are super important, and that is a great way to vet out your realtors. It is, hey, how have they done for you? Did they communicate? So ask those right questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're just Googling a realtor and you expect the results that you need, especially if you are a first-time home buyer and you're buying your house to turn that into an investment property, you're going to sell it, make money, buy a new one, keep doing it. Or if you're a real estate investor and you're just trying to find your realtor online and you've got no way of back checking, you've got no back channel ways to reach them, if for some reason they disappear, you're going to be in trouble. So it's super important. Vet your realtor. Your realtor should be one of the most important parts of your team.
Correct.
If they're not, you're already behind the 8 ball. Some more great hacks with you, Travis. You can always reach me Instagram at Jess from the Northwest, or you can email me live at autographconstruction.com. Travis, where can they reach you?
Yeah, you can reach me on my email at travis.hitt@gmail.com or on Instagram at TravisHittRealtor.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.